All right, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be explaining on this very cool concept about how identity is built through repetitions. You've probably seen a ton of videos of those influencers that just post about the same thing over and over again. And the thing is, it may seem repetitive. That's true. But one thing that's also true is that repetition is what leads to growth. Repetition is what leads to a new identity being made. Repetition is what builds the standards and the structure for you to become successful. People don't understand that, and that is why they fail. People think they want to get into the complex, they want to get into the advanced. But the truth is, there's the 80-20 rule, which means 20% of your efforts get 80% of the results. What does that mean? That means doing the same thing over and over again, the basics, no matter what you do in life. You can do a web agency, you can do drop shipping, you can have a construction company. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do the basics and you put in your mind and you do it over and over again, your identity will be built and you will be successful. And that's what people don't understand. Sorry, I just had to tell that, and that's just the truth. So, yes, identity is built through repetition. So, let's start with the core circle, which is at the center of the board is identity. And look, I got a good marker this time. Is your result of your reps. Identity automatically correlates to your reps. Okay? See, this is why the best influencers and YouTubers repeat themselves. Not because they lack ideas, but because this is how humans learn and change. It's not doing constant new things, but it's about reiterating the same process over again until you become creative enough to have a whole new complex system. You gotta learn the basics and understand the structure before you go on and do something else. Okay? So let me keep going. So, why people think that a lot of influencers repeat? You see, people have seen, oh, I've heard this so many times. This is so basic. Why don't people just keep saying the same thing? Like I seen this one YouTube video. This guy talks about investing into the S&P 500. Then I see this other video. And this guy says the same thing. But the truth is, that is what results. That is how you get results. Is through the repetition. People confuse new information with real progress, which is not the truth. You see, you can have all of these books here. You see, these are stack of books, all on top of each other. This is all new information. You're getting information, okay? You're getting that information. But there is no movement in your progression because there's so many new things that you go up and you go down and it just stays there in the vacuum and it doesn't lead to real growth because you're stuck wanting to just get information and learn new things when you haven't even learned the basic concept yet. The truth is, everything is built on basics. Basics repeated equals mastery. I repeat, basics repeated equals mastery. It'd be nice if I had. The hands it is. The hands it is. You see, I'm going to explain this. Basics repeated equals mastery. Yeah, this is way too wet. Give me 1 second. Basics equals mastery. What does that mean? Fitness, how do you build muscle? It's through reps. Business, how do you do it? Through having a constant offer and making sales. Confidence is through exposure. Discipline is through daily habits. Consistently putting in reps to build your identity. Every skill in life is built by repeating fundamentals, not chasing complexity. You see, there's this pyramid, for example, and the basics is over here at the bottom. Basics at the bottom. Before you want to build this thing, you need to set the foundations. You need to lay this brick by brick. How do you start off? With basics and through repetition. And you notice how I'm repeating myself? Is because you don't get that through your thick skull. That you need to learn first the principles over and over again before you move on to the complex stuff. See results doing the basics and then move on to doing harder things. And I'm going to explain this, and this is why people complicate literally everything. People complicate because basics are boring. Repetition just feels slow. An ego wants novelty. Your ego, you think you're already capable, and you believe that you should be doing something more efficient with your time. You believe you should be learning instead of repeating and putting it through action and actually mastering something. And that's your ego talking. Complexity feels productive. What's the truth? We can all agree it's not. It's about the basics. Most things in life, most basic businesses scale. Complex systems don't scale. Basic businesses do. So, basic feels simple, but it works every single time. You see? When something is simple, you have a straight line. You know exactly where to go. When something is complex, you can have a line going up, a line going straight, a line going down. You don't know where to go. You get lost because it's complex. You just want to learn, you want to implement new things before you even crack down on the one system that you need to do. Please understand that. Listening once is just not enough. Understanding doesn't equal doing. Most people hear advice once and they move on. Winners, successful people, they will listen. They will not only listen, they will listen, apply, and repeat. Listen, apply, and repeat. What do they mean? They mean they listen, they apply what they learned, and then they repeat. They don't just do it once, they do it many times until they actually crack down the system. It's a loop, okay? First, this is a little ear. You listen. Then you repeat. I don't know if you can see this. You listen, you do, you repeat. You listen, you do, you repeat. You listen, you do, you repeat. Even if it's basic. You invest in the S&P 500, you do it, you learn it, you do it, and then you do it again. You learn, you do it, you do it again. Once you understand it, then you can move on to more complex securities, things that different, more complicated assets you want to do, individual stocks. You see, repetition builds skill. And skill is built through what? Reps over time. Example, for you to learn how to speak, what do you need to do to learn how to speak? You don't just speak once, you speak more so you can become better. You want to become better at creating content? What do? You don't create once and that's it. You create more and more content so you can get a feel for your audience, understand what they want, and just keep doing it better and better. Discipline. Showing up daily. How do you build discipline? You don't just do something once and you don't build discipline from that. Discipline is having the confidence of doing it daily and knowing that you're actually capable of doing such said action. You don't get skilled by knowing more. You get skilled by doing more. You don't get skilled by knowing more. You get skilled by doing more. You see, The more you do, the more the little progress bar that's over here fills up. This is progress right here. I do gotta talk about my other video because there's also this other thing. It's not about just the reps. It's about doing the reps, learning, getting feedback, and improving upon such said feedback. So you can't just do something over and over and it's just not working. That means there's something wrong. That means you're not checking. You're just doing it and you're not actually getting the feedback and reiterating. For you to build identity, you need to repeat what you're doing. You need to be getting constant feedback on how you can improve what you are doing. You see, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to explain to you guys why repetition builds identity. Reps builds identity. Showing up daily shows that you're disciplined. Posting consistently shows that you're creative. Practicing makes you confident. Practicing makes perfect. You don't decide who you are. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to be this person. You prove it through repetition. You prove that you're that guy. You prove that you're that woman. You prove that you can do it. Okay? So then, these small dots of constant repetition start solidifying and becoming something that drives the needle forward. A little arrow. The more you do, these little reps build over time into this exponential growth. So why the best keep saying the same thing? Because repetition works. The message will never change. Okay? Maybe there's a new system, new thing, but the message stays the same. The message won't change. The listener will. Every time you hear it, you're at a different level. You understand more about what you're listening. Maybe you heard the same thing once here, but you're at this other level, which means you can apply what you just heard again to become even more successful. Every time you hear it, you're on a different level. Same message, but you are in a different state of your life. And why most people never change is because they consume instead of apply constantly. They chase new ideas. They quit repetition way too early. They become entertained with this new idea that they just learned. They don't transform it and apply. So to close with this one thing, because this video is kind of getting long, I just want you to send a simple message, and you don't need a longer video. You don't need those BS an-hour videos explaining this one simple topic. Maybe you do. Maybe you need that repetition. Maybe you need to get it through your thick skull. That what you need to do is just constantly put reps for you to become successful. So I'm going to close with this. The basics, done repeatedly, build skill and identity. With feedback, learning and improving. Stop chasing new strategies and start repeating the fundamentals. That's why the best repeat, and that's why they win. Because they learned the system, the basics, the fundamentals, they heard it, they applied, got feedback, reiterated. So last, basics is your foundation to the skyscraper you're building. Basics is what holds up everything. It's your foundation. Stay to the basics, reiterate, repeat, and watch your identity change. Thank you guys so much for watching. It seems like I was mad, but it's just that this is the truth, okay, of how you become successful. I'm not even there yet. I'm documenting what I've learned, what I see successful people do in the industry, and I'm just showing you guys what I've learned and what you guys can take away. So please keep this in mind and just keep going. Don't stop. Repeat, learn, repeat, get feedback, reiterate, do it again until you build the identity. And that concludes my video. I hope you found this valuable. If you found this valuable, like, comment, subscribe, share it to a friend that you might think will find this beneficial. I'm always looking to grow my followers, my belief. I'm using this. I don't make any money off of this. I'm using this as proof of what I know what I'm doing as I become more successful in my future career. And I have this as evidence of me knowing what I'm talking about once I'm there. I'm there mentally already, and I'm super close to what I want to do. And I'm sorry, it's just confidence, and that's what you got to do. I know I'm there already. I'm manifesting this. I just know it. This is just proof of evidence. This is the reason why I'm here right now. I'm exactly where I need to be because I'm here to show you guys what to do, even when you haven't made it. Even if you're not there yet, but you're there mentally, that's what matters. Put in the reps, put in the work, and I'll see you guys at the top. Thank you so much for watching.